As a gamer, there's no shortage of video game stores out there where you can go in to either trade in your video games or acquire new video games. One of the most common ones or more famous ones out there is GameStop, of course. Now, I know we've all seen those memes out there of the kid who trades in his entire video game collection for $12, or the Guinness World Record holder trading in every single game he owns for $12 or $13, stupid stuff like that. We've also probably personally experienced too what it feels like to go in with a stack of 3 or 4 games and trade them all in and only walk away with 1 or 2 games. Sometimes you feel like you get ripped off. So in this video, I decided to take my 10 most valuable games and see just how much GameStop would give me for those if I were to go trade them at their store. I don't think you'll be surprised at all by what the results are. Let's check it out. Okay, so my 10th most valuable video game out there. This is Resident Evil 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. Now this game has been ported over to almost every system imaginable out there since the days of the Dreamcast and Nintendo 64. I mean, there have been remakes, remasters, you name it. This version, however, still holds pretty substantial value. PriceCharting.com currently has this valued at $136.50. But can you guess what GameStop would give me for it? The cash value for trade-in, $26.60, and the store credit trade-in value, $38. Yeah, definitely won't be trading this one anytime soon. At number 9, we have another Sega Dreamcast game. This is D2. So this one's interesting because it's actually a 4-disc game set. I actually bought this from GameStop years ago. So before they had this retro resurgence that they're having right now, they had an online platform called GameStop Retro. So you would buy these retro games and you wouldn't know what condition you were going to get them in. You were basically rolling the dice. They didn't specify if they were complete in box, if they were loose, what have you. My copy, when I purchased it, I got just the 4 discs. That was it, loose discs. It took me a very long time to find both the case and the manual that accompanies it to complete this. I believe I actually had to find them piecemeal. I found the case first, and then I found someone selling both the case and the manual on Facebook Marketplace and somehow completed the collection that way many years after the fact of purchasing the discs initially. Anyways, long story short, it was a task to find this complete in box. Now, currently, this is valued on PriceCharting.com at $149.99. What do you think GameStop would give me for it? You guessed it, $26.60 for trade-in, cash value, and $38 for store credit. The 8th most valuable game in my collection, GameCube, is finally showing up on the list. This is Pokemon Coliseum. Now, I did a review on this game many months ago, and I believe it has since been brought over to the Nintendo Online platform if you have a Switch 2, or maybe even a Switch 1 you can play it. I'm not sure, don't quote me. I haven't played Nintendo Online in some time. However, it is available on different platforms if you don't want to shell out the cash for this physical copy. How much cash should be shelling out, do you ask? Price Charting has this valued right now at $160. GameStop, $32.20 for cash offer to trade it in, $46 to trade it in for store credit. My 7th most valuable video game, Dreamcast, is heavy on this list. Here we are yet again. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now this game, if you're not familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's based off of a manga anime series. It's kind of quirky. I honestly don't know much about it. I've played the game several times. I know they've made like a JoJo's Bizarre All-Star Adventure R for modern consoles, specifically like the Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, etc. I have it over there. I've played it over there too. I honestly don't understand the story or what's going on. It's very quirky, but that's also kind of the appeal and what makes it so endearing. So this copy here, a physical copy on the Dreamcast, this will set you back $179.80 according to PriceCharting.com. GameStop would give me $29.40 cash or $42 store credit for this beautiful copy, which is complete in box. My sixth most valuable game. Now, this is another one that I actually bought from GameStop many years ago. Rolled the dice, and this actually did arrive to me complete in box. This is Sonic Adventure 2. Now, I know this one has been released on Steam. There's digital copies of it available on like the Xbox Live store, which I know it's gone down from the 360 storefront, but you could get a copy of it over there too. There's many ways to play this. So right now, today, PriceCharting.com lists this at $190. GameStop would give me $29.40 for cash value, or $42 store credit that I could use to trade towards other games. But this is one where I definitely scored a home run buying it and taking the risk, because I think I only paid $45 for it at the time. This is, again, probably 10 years ago, but hey, I'll take it. So here's a game where finally the Nintendo Entertainment System is making an appearance on this list. So my fifth most valuable game in my collection, an outstanding game, mind you, this is Bucky O'Hare. Now, this one came recommended to me by a buddy of mine that I actually worked with for several years. He now lives out west. But he told me that he and his brother used to spend mornings watching, I believe there was a cartoon show about it or a comic series or something related to it that was out that he was a big fan of. There's also an arcade game, which I've played the arcade game of this on my channel, did a full playthrough. It is awesome as well. This game is pretty challenging. I mean, as most of the NES games back in the day are. I think I got maybe halfway through it. Never actually completed it. Anyways, this is one of those games where I bought it several years ago. I want to say I paid $80 for this loose copy of it. Again, this is probably 10 or 15 years ago. Today, the same loose copy is valued on PriceCharting.com at $191.13. Now, what would GameStop give me? Here you go again, bring in the low ball offers. $24.50 cash, $35 trade-in credit. Okay, GameCube is back on the list. Here we go again. The fourth most valuable game in my collection. This one I paid the premium for. This one I didn't score a home run or end up acquiring it years ago at a great discount. But this is Chibi Robo. So I paid close to what it's worth. Right now, PriceCharting.com values it $213.85. I paid maybe $180 for it within the last year or two. I mean, I might have used like a discount from eStarland or some sort of like promo they were having, like Black Friday sale, 10% off sort of gig. But I definitely paid for this one, right? I haven't actually played it, ironically. Not too much aside from capturing this game footage. But if I were to take this into GameStop, we're looking at $36.40 cash trade-in or $52 for store credit, which I think so far is the most amount I've seen from a store credit trade-in from the games on this list. Here we are entering the top three. So rounding us out at number 3, my third most valuable game in my collection. It's another one I paid for. I paid the premium for it. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for Nintendo GameCube. So I haven't really played this one. I've heard that it's darker than the other Pokemon games. And because of that, because it's darker, because it's a different type of story, I actually dig that. I'm looking forward to actually cracking this open and playing it. So I paid really close to what this is going to be valued at. It's currently valued $234.91. I feel like I got it for right around $200. This one, ironically, doesn't appear on GameStop for trade-in. So this is likely going to be one where I show up and they're like, oh, we'll take it off your hands if you want to donate it to us. Nah, ain't happening. So no value found for this on GameStop site. So definitely not taking this to them. Okay, my second most valuable video game that I own. This is one that I purchased from a local video game store several years ago. Paid pretty close to what it's currently worth. So again, no home runs here, but this is an outstanding game. This is Cannon Spike for the Sega Dreamcast. If you haven't played this one, it plays a lot like a twin-stick shooter, except there aren't two sticks. You just have the one stick that you're navigating around the screen with and blasting at your enemies. Super fun, especially if you're playing it with a buddy. Now, this currently is valued on PriceCharting.com, $329. I paid close to that. I probably paid $300 or slightly under that many years ago. Now, GameStop would give me $45.50 cash or $65 of trade if I were to trade it in. That's the most amount valued so far on this list according to GameStop. Okay, and here we go. My most valuable game in my collection. Now, this one I did buy from GameStop many years ago, their GameStop Retro. And I either was a pro member at the time and had a percentage discount, or it was like a Black Friday deal or some special, because sometimes the retro stuff went on sale 10% every blue moon where they were trying to wipe out inventory. I happened to catch one of those. So I got one of those sneaky sales where I got some percentage knocked off. I ended up paying about $180 for this loose copy back in the day. And it is Earthbound Super NES. Now, I know that, there are other ways to play this game. There's digital ways to play it on Nintendo's online presence, emulation, of course. I've played through this game a little bit. I've put a few hours into it. I've never actually beaten it. It's one that I actually am looking forward to going back and thoroughly enjoying and playing. Because I remember when this character Ness first appeared on Super Smash Bros. I was like, who's this kid? And, some of the OG players out there knew about him from playing this back in the day. I was not one of those people, so Ness was a brand new entrant to me. So right now, today, Pricetracking.com lists us at $349.99. GameStop, what do you think they'd give me for this? $24.50 cash offer, or $35 of store credit. Now, folks, let me do some quick math for you here. The value of these 10 video games that I just showed you right here, I calculate the value according to price charting, $2,135.17. Not bad for 10 games, right? Now, the GameStop trade-in value for cash, they give me a $275.10 for these 10 games. So that's roughly 12.8%. Let's just call it 13%. 13% of value they would give me in cash for my games. Now for store credit, $393 is what they're giving me, which would be 18.4. We'll just say 18%, or 18.5 if you want to be generous, for store credit for these same games. I'm going to talk about getting ripped off. I mean, I joke with some buddies. I was joking with one of them recently, like, hey, if your daughter's trying to sell some Switch games, I'll give her 15 cents on the dollar for it. I'll beat GameStop's prices. I was joking, of course. I'm not trying to rip people off. But it's kind of sad that this has become a joke. Like, GameStop is really out there trying to lowball people. I mean, I get it. They're a for-profit company, a for-profit business. That's their business model. That's how they make money. But, man, I feel sorry for the people that are going in there and, trading away 3 or 4 games just to walk out with the latest copy of Grand Theft Auto or Super Mario Brothers Wonder or whatever it is out there they're trying to get, or Elden Ring. Now, granted, I do remember those days. I remember being a kid taking like 3 N64 games and trading them in and walking away with one. But still, I mean, there's a difference between like a rite of passage and paying dues and just being ripped off. And I feel like GameStop is definitely out there ripping people off. But it's just my opinion. I mean, I still do business with them. But again, of course, I'm a collector. I'm not actively going to GameStop trying to trade stuff in. If I ever do, it's duplicates. And it's duplicates where I've already tried first to give to people who need or want it first in the community. Or, I take it to my local game store. And if for whatever reason they're not wanting it, take it over to GameStop and see what they'll do. So kind of like my spot of last resort, but take it for what it's worth. I mean, anyone who's a serious collector out there, you would know not to take your stuff to GameStop. But even if you're just starting out with a collection or a modest collection that you have, you're wanting to kind of upgrade what you have in your inventory, there's definitely better places out there to trade than GameStop. So, with that said, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. And as always, we'll catch you next time. Take care.